Hey guys, this is a glimpse into how I do my everyday makeup. I do a full face every day, but depending on how much time I have, I will edit steps out. But I always start with concealer, and here I'm using my Kat Von D Lock-It concealer in the shade Light 18. It's not my favorite concealer. Normally, especially for my under eyes, I would use my Laura Mercier Secret concealer, but I'm all out, and I do have this on hand, and I don't totally hate it, but I don't love it, so I'm just going to end up using it up. And I'm just dabbing it on my under eyes and wherever I have any redness, like my chin and around my nose. And then I'm going to blend, blend, blend. It's the tagline of this video, blend. Then I go in with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Original. And I always end up putting too much on one lid. So I'm going to take some of the excess and put it on the other. And then blend it out. And I do try and bring it up all the way to my brows. And any extra after that, I do underneath on my bottom eyelid. I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier Mineral Powder SPF 15 in the shade Tender Rose. I do like to use mineral foundations during the summer because I do have especially oily skin, and I find that this controls the oil a lot better. Also, I tend to break out less when I wear mineral foundation. And I'm just using my my Bare Minerals Handy Buki brush. It's the same brush I've been using for my foundation since the beginning of time. I like it because it has really compact bristles, so it blends really well. And mineral powder does have really good building abilities, meaning you can build it from like a sheer coverage all the way up to a full coverage. So if you haven't tried mineral foundation, I definitely recommend it. Then I'm going to go back in with another Bare Essentials brush. They're seamless blending brush, and I just tap a little more of the foundation on anywhere where I suffer from that redness where I originally applied that liquid concealer, just for some added coverage. I just try to pack the color on, not so much, spread it, but just tap and blend just slightly. And of course, always check for that dreaded line of demarcation on your chin. Even with mineral foundation, it happens. And then I'm going to start on my eyes and my brows. I'm using my Too Faced Natural Eye palette. This is old school. It still has a little drawer with a brush in it, and it's a thick one that they don't even sell anymore. But I just use their little brush. And I just fill them with powder. I do go over with a clear mascara later, you'll see. But I just go in and I fill in wherever I have any sparseness. And I'm using, I'm using the shade Sexpresso out of that palette. And I recommend that if you have really dark hair like I do, you always want to go one shade lighter than your hair color for your brows. If you have really light blonde hair, you want to go one shade darker. I'm actually naturally blonde, so I've done both sides of the spectrum on this roll, and I think it's really helpful roll. Now I'm going with my Maybelline Great Lash in clear. I don't really believe in fancy, expensive brow gels. I think this works just as well. Especially if you use powder to fill in your brows. I think powder with colored gel on top looks a little too heavy. So since I use powder, I'm just going to use a clear gel to keep all the hairs in place. Then I'm going to go with my New York Color palette in Late Night Latte. I'm going to start with the lightest color in that palette and cover all my lids using my MAC 224 brush. And again, this is just my quick everyday makeup. I'm not being real precise, so I'm just kind of slapping the color on. Making sure to get all the lid covered from brow to lash line. Then I'm going to go in with another New York color palette called Long Beach Sands in their lightest color, just to highlight my brow and the inside corner of my eyes. And then I'm going to use the middle shade on that one. Just to cover my whole lid. And then I'm going to return to the first palette I used, the Late Night Latte, and use the purple shade, just to give a little dimension to the outer crease. This color is not super pigmented, but sometimes I like to use a little bit of a purple kind of taupe-ish color on the outside crease, just to add a little dimension and depth kind of to my eye looks. I'm going back in with that Too Faced Natural Eye Palette, and I'm using the color Velvet Revolver. Normally I would do this step earlier, but I forgot, so I'm going in now. Just use that as kind of a transitional color and to blend everything together, just in the crease. And then I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of the purple color because I didn't think that I had enough. And now I'm going to bronze. I really think this step makes a huge difference in the way I look. And today I'm using Laura Mercier's Balance and Bronze Foundation and Bronzer in the color Fair. And usually I just kind of slap on the bronzer color first in the usual backwards E3 formation and along my jawline, just because I don't have a very prominent jaw. So I like to kind of highlight that a little bit. Or sculpt that out, I should say. And then I go back in and I blend. And even more than blending your foundation, anything else, you have to spend a good amount of time blending your bronzer. You can go from looking bronze to muddy in like 0.2 seconds, especially on fair skin like myself. So don't skip this step. Don't do it in a hurry. Then I'm gonna go in with my Laura Geller Blush and Brighten in Boysenberry and the highlighter in Amaretti. I really like Laura Geller products. Their powders are really going really smooth and creamy. And I also should say that I highlighted the bridge of my nose and just a little bit on top of my forehead just to brighten up my complexion with that highlighter in that palette. Then I'm going to go with my Urban Decay liner, or Urban Decay 24/7 liner, in whatever their black color is called. And I always use my little mirror because I just cannot do it in a regular mirror. So I apologize for the out of frame shots here. And I'm just lining my tight line. I don't usually line my waterline just because I tend to blink a lot and my eyes really do water when I line all of it. And plus, I tend to look tired every day. I get a lot of redness in my eyes, so I feel like if I just leave the bottom of my lids unlined, I look more awake. Then I'm going to go back in with my Holy Grail Revlon Color Stay liquid eyeliner. And depending on how much time I have, sometimes I do a little flick or a cat eye, sometimes I don't. It depends on my mood and how much time I have. But for the sake of this video, I did a little bit of a cat eye. And I understand why YouTubers always sort of edit out the liquid eyeliner part of their videos because it's hard to film and it takes a long time to do it. I think even those of us who are used to doing liquid eyeliner and do it every day still have to take quite a bit of time stepping back from the mirror, checking, rechecking, and so forth. Then I'm going to go in with my eyelash curler. I apologize, I don't remember what brand it is. And a big tip I have is whenever you curl your eyes, when you clip onto clip onto your lashes, I should say, always sort of lean it back into the eye, just like I did right there, and pump 5 to 10 times. Leaning it in sort of helps prevent that creasing or crimping that you sometimes get in your lashes. Then I'm going to go in with my Benefit They're Real mascara. I got a sample of this from Sephora and I really like it. And if you haven't seen the commercial yet for this mascara that's kind of gone viral on YouTube, you have to check it out. It's hilarious. Slightly not safe for work, but hilarious nonetheless. And I usually do 3 coats. And I always lean in, make sure I get all those little corner lashes. And then to finish off the look, I'm going with a little Buxom lip gloss. It's a sample, so I can't tell what the color name is. But it's kind of a bright, sparkly pink. And then blending the gloss a little bit because it's kind of extra sticky. And there you have it. Good to go, polished, ready for out the door. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next video.